Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Cancer April 2023 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of clairvoyant readings as well as healings for many of you over the course of the last month, haven't I? You know who you are. And if you feel led or interested to see what might be involved in having a clairvoyant reading or a healing from me, just check out the information which is in the description box below. Now, as the subscribers know, and it's always great to see the subscribers, always love to see you each month. I look forward to it, and lots of energy and love going your way. Now, as you know, we don't have any video advertisements breaking through into this content, and so you get to enjoy the experience uninterrupted by such things. Now, let us take 5 cards, shall we? Because 5 is all that we need, gives us everything to talk about for the time that we have together now. And let's see what's first up, shall we? The 8 of Coins. This is an old Russian deck, actually. So there's the Falling Tower. Yeah, Russian deck. The imagery will be probably quite familiar to it, although it's set out in a different sort of a format, and obviously replete with the imagery of, well, Russia, I suppose, probably in the late Middle Ages, early 1800s, something like that. We'll see. There's the 10 of Swords. That was the Falling Tower. The 10 of Swords, Cancer. And I wouldn't be worried about that, though, not with these other cards that are around it here. Let's see what's coming in finally, shall we? See, there you go, the 7 of Coins. Well, why don't you, as is our usual practice, come sit down here next to me. We'll have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while I do the reading for you. Okay, let's look at this first card that you drew, and it is the 8 of Coins. This energy is pretty good, I think, for you. Let's have a look to see. What's the astrology? Oh, look up in that position and above the 10 of Swords and across from the Tower. It is the Sun ruling the first decan of Virgo, 23rd of August to the 2nd of September. This is the Lord of Prudence. And sometimes, you know, you just need the patience to let things grow. There is a strength sometimes in doing nothing at all. Sow the seed, sit back, and wait for the harvest. Now, with this number 8 here, Mercury is the ruler of that, and Mercury is the planet of, and is also exalted in Virgo. So we have the astrology of the card being the Sun in Virgo, and in the numerology, that great complementary energy of Mercury there as well. So this is very favorable. And here the Sun energizes Virgo's hard work and attention to detail. Now, I have to tell you that this card can signify, in this position with that astrology, can signify you hearing about a pregnancy or of a birth. And there is, I think, a time also for you to be cautious about things and to take calculated risks. Be careful with money. It might be a time of learning, education, and upskilling. Time to also watch it. Make sure you, as your mother always told you, look right, look left, look right again when you cross the street. So just take some physical caution at this time. And there is a period here, I think you'll have quite an interest in structure and detail. I think that this energy is also about not overextending yourself or underextending yourself. Rather, it's about being in the sweet spot where you can see all the bases, and you know where the ball is going to go. There's a great flowering going on here with you, internal and external richness, a wisdom, but carefulness and prudence. Particularly, there's a multifaceted flowering going on with you at the moment, but at times of multifaceted flowering, extremes and excesses should be avoided. Internal flowering is a delicate process which occurs in stillness. It is a gift to handle lovingly and with great care. Now every bloom on your tree is shielded by a large leaf at the moment, a symbol of the protection that you are being given. But remember that your tree is just beginning to bloom. It is not the time for harvesting or for giving out the newly developing wealth. Definitely you need time and patience to develop something. Don't rush it, as it's a long-term thing, and be prepared to bide your time and let it come to fruition. But this is an encouragement for you to keep doing what you are doing, as it will eventually lead to success. Now, sure, it's going to require a lot of dedication, focus, and patience, but as time passes, you will get closer to your goal. Now, it may not be apparent to you, but events are unfolding that are going to take you to your destination. Now, I think, as I mentioned, maybe additional training or study may be required. But you've also got to manage the energies between different parts of your life. That which is coming into flower in you is of exquisite beauty and delicacy. Provide for it the protection and nourishment it needs. You don't need to force anything. Everything unfolds at the proper time. Now, are you giving yourself the protection and nourishment you need now for your development? Say this to yourself: look, I just relax and I trust life. So what do we have next? Well, let's see what's underneath it. What is underneath? Now, the Ten of Swords is underneath it. Very often, the Ten of Swords can prove to be a difficult card, but I'll say this. A couple of things happening with it. Earth, which is coins, and air, which is swords, are enemies, and they can weaken each other. So here you have a earth card, here an earth card, here an earth card, and here the lone air card. So this card is what they call ill-dignified. So the strength that it might otherwise have in another reading is not present in this reading. And so the graphic claims that people might have to say, oh, you're going to go crazy, or you're going to go bankrupt, or, oh dear, there's death and everything like this around you, that just isn't the case for you. But I do want to make mention of some things, because it's ill-dignified like that, and obviously this hasn't happened by accident. It's asking me to maybe talk about something to do with this card with you at this time, and so I propose to do that. Now, the first thing is that the astrology of this card is that of the sun ruling the third decan of Gemini, which is the 12th to the 20th of June. Now here, the sun in Gemini is difficult, as Gemini disperses the energy of the sun, and it can disperse your focus. And the focus can become entirely on the intellect. And here, that focus on the intellect can become unstable, as the 10 is an unstable number card, and it's about to devolve into the Ace of Coins here. So there may well be the feeling that there is some sort of a threat around you, or there's some concern. It's asking you to consider the destructive power of negative thinking, which can disrupt the harmony and balance of the heart. And you need to look at where the fears in your life, where they lie, and change the way that you are dealing with them. And because the card is set out where it is here and surrounded by all these unfriendly cards to it, its power is basically taken away from it. So it's become, if you like, a conversation piece in this respect, but a conversation that needs to be had. And I think what it's saying is that sometimes you just have to believe in yourself. Now, there's a good chance that all you've ever been told or made to feel in your life so far is that you can't do anything. That every time you even dared to dream that your life could be better, you were shot down or laughed at, made to feel small, made to feel useless, made to feel like an idiot for even thinking that you could be more. Now all of us, just as we thought something was in reach, have had a massive shadow of doubt thrown on us, normally by somebody close to us, and it hurts you, doesn't it? It's hurt me. It hurts others. And you've then thought of the pain to get what you want, and your brain avoids it. The other thing that it wants to talk about is the past, I think, and it wants to say this with respect to things that you're ruminating on and thinking about, and it's saying that, look, sometimes bad things do happen to good people like you. But if you are having one of those dark days, it's okay to feel that darkness. When challenges come back to back to back, and it seems like something is after you, something is attacking you, something is attacking your journey, then look for the lesson in it all. You grow through what you've gone through. The question is, are you willing to go through it? Now, when bad things happen, what are you going to do? Are you going to allow this horrible situation that happened to dictate the way you feel now and how you handle things going forward? Are you going to fall over, fall down, fall apart? Or are you going to face that issue with courage and resolution? You know darkness. You've seen it before. So embrace it. Embrace the darkness. Don't look away from it. Own it. Walk one step after another. Never surrender. Remember that even in the most wretched of times, don't pause. Remember not to stop. Remember not to hesitate. Take that first step and start walking. Always hold your head up high and let your spirit rise. You are a child of the divine. Don't allow yourself a switch-off button. I know there is always an answer. No matter how dark that place may be, there is always a way out. Keep going. Hold on to that fundamental quality of faith. Have faith that's worked for you before. Know that on the other side of your pain, as you have found before, is always something good. But I think there's quite a lot going on in your life. Maybe it's sort of saying that to you because you don't need to worry about anything. You have what it takes. You have got everything going for you. Well, this is a major arcana, so I'll talk about the picture. Now, the imperial crown falls from the tower, along with gold coins, crosses, and other religious objects, and a man and a woman symbolizing the fall of the Russian Empire in 1917, I guess. Now, astrologically, here we have Mars, the warrior planet, in full attack mode, coming in to destroy the tower. This is the Lord of the hosts of the mighty, and this is speaking to me for you of far-reaching inner transformation and healing, and more particularly that the old is destroyed to make way for the new. And there is a spiritual renewal and a self-knowledge here. Now there's release, revelation, and the breaking down of old forms or patterns. This is in a sense the calm after the storm. The power of the consuming, purifying fire destroys the old and sweeps it away. Nothing is spared. The tower of the ego will be shaken to its very foundations. Now, anything you attempt to cling to will be destroyed by this transforming power. The apparent securities of the past have begun to waver and topple. All that remains is trust, the knowledge that all events in life arise from the endless love of the source and bring you the possibility for learning and recognition. Now, this understanding of the true nature of events transforms even apparent losses, painful disappointments or memories into the valuable gifts they really are. Times of desperation and inattention, when recognized, can become the most fruitful, growing phases of your life. Now, this is one of the great cards for healing. Now, furthermore, I think that it's possible that this could be something of a time of some turmoil or destruction as you seek to understand how you could have been so mistaken about a situation or a person which you now have to come to terms with. Now, emotions like anger, grief, sleeping problems, they may be affecting you as your sense of, well, security or confidence or trust has been lost or badly shaken. You may feel as if your comfortable world will never be the same, but it will. Now, this could be because of a relationship breakup, loss of a job, or the death of a loved one, or it could be because of some money or health problems. But the important message is that with the destruction of the old comes the new, and you will look at life in a more meaningful way, which is going to make you wiser. This is a major internal change. The divine spirit moving through the psyche and burning out anything fake. You are in the midst of, or about to enter into, an extremely intensive transformatory process. Whatever is destroyed or shaken within you serves to purify you and make room for something new, so allow it. Are you ready to view yourself and life with new eyes? Observe yourself in daily life. Situations may seem to repeat themselves, but you will not continue to repeat old, limited, restrictive behavior patterns, I can assure you. Say this to yourself: who I think I am is a belief to be undone. I have the ability to heal and restore myself at all times. I am not inside my body. My body is inside me. And everything that happens in my life is for the best. Let's have a look at the Queen of Coins, shall we? Hello there, madam. What do you have to say to my friend here? Well, she says the first thing I've got to tell you is that she thinks that Capricorn and Sagittarius are going to be important to you. This is the Queen of the Thrones of Earth. Now, this is a woman. The genders are fluid, of course, in these court cards. But this is someone who is ambitious, affectionate and kind, charming, practical, quiet is what I say. She is the watery part of Earth, and as such she can put water onto Earth and make things grow. She can make things become tangible, as you'll be able to do. Now, you'll be ambitious, but it's a time for you to be working with instinct and intuition rather than over-intellectualizing things. Rather, she's saying to you, it's a time to be quiet, hardworking, practical, sensible. But this is a time when you are actually going to be very attractive to other people. And it's also a time, I've got to say, look, she possesses the finest of the quieter qualities, but she can, in her own unassuming and reticent way, actually be very lusty and very sexy. She has the sort of the motherly, nurturing type of energy around her. And as a result of that, she is very good at showing love through domestic duties as well as external work. You'll be striving to create a secure home. You could also be looking after a family, I think, at this time. But you do need to find time to nurture yourself. She represents for you a time of prosperity and security. Now, you will be in tune with the, what I would call you'll be in harmony with nature and the cycles of change, living a harmonious life, And you'll be organic and growing and not stagnant. And I'm going to get to this card in a moment, which is getting blown away by the Queen, which is talking about some sort of a stagnation here, but you're not going to be stagnant. You see, the journey that she has undertaken shows that your vision has come about by learning lessons and working on yourself, just as she has. Now, she has strength and adaptability and ability to go with the flow, which gets her through the desert. And that's what is, in your case, occurring, I think. I think you've had come through something of a barren stretch, but now you are sort of arriving at an oasis here. Now, in a sense, though, she's channeled a lot of her energy into working on herself and achieving things to do with what she considers to be work. But now it's time to look at other things as well. There's almost a self-reflection here. You've come through the barren desert, if you like, to the oasis, and now you're asking, what is going on? How can I bring things forward for people around and keep practical, compassionate, and have a nurturing attitude to others and to your own circumstances? Now, she also represents health and diet, and it's a time for you to consider exercise, but go forward quietly without an overt attack upon existing institutions. Do you know, I think you have passed through an arid, dry stretch on your journey, and you've now arrived at a stage where which is more fruitful, and you can rest and devote some attention to yourself and to your physical needs. In what ways have you neglected your body, your outer self? Do you indulge yourself too much? Devote more attention to your health and beauty than you have until now. And say to yourself, I give my body the gift of loving attention, and it gives me the gift of life energy, joy in living, and health. Now, interestingly, this here in this position underneath the tower and with the Queen next to it is an energy that's receding from your life, but we need to talk about it anyway. And I was getting a feeling of stagnation. Now, why is that the case? First of all is you can count the number of coins around here, 6, 7, but look at these two. They're about to come raining down. They're not part of the 7, but they're about to come raining down upon this person here. Now, the astrology is Saturn in the 3rd decan of Taurus, the 11th to the 20th of May. Now, Saturn, well, that's known as the great malefic of the zodiac. And it's slow moving. It takes about 28 years to go around the sun. And it's a restrictive planet. It's got a bad reputation. It's not all bad as far as I'm concerned, but let's just leave it for the time being. Now, it's in Taurus. Well, Taurus is the fixed sign of Earth. It's fixed. It's not going anywhere. So it's a bull sitting around saying, I'm not moving. I'm not moving unless a attractive cow happens to be in the area. And putting the plodding fixed earth sign of Taurus together with Saturn, I get the idea of stagnation that's coming around here. So what I'm concerned about is that maybe there's some ideas that you've had where you have you've actually put your own restriction around it. You've kind of resigned yourself. There's a hesitancy there. You've looked at apparently insurmountable obstacles. There's a fear of making mistakes that touches your business, financial situations, or physical conditions in your health. And you see apparently insurmountable obstacles in front of you and believe that you will not be able to jump over these hurdles with the first try. And terrible images rise up threateningly, and you tend to draw back, resigned, and limit your actions to the old familiar ways of dealing with problems. But as we were saying with this 10 of Swords here, sometimes you just have to believe in yourself. Look, let me put a situation to you, and it is this, that the ideal situation for a man or woman is to die when they're dying. is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. Now imagine, if you will, being on your deathbed, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never went after your dream. You never leaned in for that kiss. You never said those words. You never used those gifts. And imagine, if you will, that there they are, standing around you, those ghosts, looking at you with large, angry eyes, saying, "We came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with your body forever." And imagine, if you will, what love, what words, what gifts will die with your body. Their own miscarriage is your bodily death. Do you know, the greatest wealth lies not in the oil fields of the Middle East, not in the gold mines of China and Australia. It lies in the cemetery, the greatness we have never seen, the joy never passed on, the words of sweet love never spoken, the talents, large or small, never actualized. You have it in you. Don't hesitate. Check things out to make sure that you'll survive and that you will prosper, because you will. Great spread. Well done, you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed providing it to you. It really was an interesting reading, and great things are in store for you this month. I found the artwork, did you not, to be quite interesting. It's not the type of thing that you see every day, is it? But anyway, there'll be a different deck for next month. But in the meantime, I want you to remember one thing and one thing only, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.